5 minutes.
Thank you, Las Councillor, and I will be sharing time, by the way, with my colleague, Deputy Robert Dowse. But I welcome the opportunity to speak on this bill today. It's been said already by other members of the House that this bill will work alongside other legislation that we've introduced, such as the Children's First Bill and the Criminal Justice Withholding of Information Bill. And these bills will, of course, be complemented by a new provision in the Constitution if the people decide to pass the children's rights referendum. I know that we published the wording of the referendum yesterday, and it was good to see that the wording has been broadly welcomed by all sectors in society. It's a very positive start to see such support for the amendment, and hopefully this will translate into a yes vote on Saturday the 10th of November. I know that I will be leading a team of canvassers and campaigners in my own county of Meath. I was asked to be the Director of Elections for our campaign, the Labour Party's campaign in Meath this morning, and I aim to make sure that we put the case for the referendum to the Irish people and to the people of Meath to enable us to get a strong yes vote, because I think a strong yes vote will once again confirm the Irish people's strong desire to protect the most vulnerable in our society. As it is now, it's not good enough that our vetting procedures are done on a non-statutory basis, and this has to be changed, and I think that's well recognised. I did note some criticism in the papers today about this bill from members of the Fianna Fáil party, and I think it's important to point out again that this is something that Fianna Fáil did nothing on throughout their time in government. They had over 14 years to act on this, and they did nothing. Of course, they promised that they would introduce the legislation, but nothing ever came from that promise. And their promise remained broken even after the joint Oireachtas Committee on the Children's Amendment to the Constitution recommended in September 2008 that such legislation should be published no later than December of that year. And this is while there were countless reports outlining the state's abject failure to protect children, and each report chronicled a history of pain and neglect. Well, nobody in here and nobody on this side of the House wants a report like that to be written in 30 years' time about a child's life in Ireland today. And that's why we want to see action, and we mean to see action. And the procedures that we have today are not working. A HICWA investigation saw that 43% of staff working in elderly homes haven't been vetted yet. The Teaching Council has stated that there's over 40,000 teachers out there who are registered with the Teaching Council who haven't been vetted. A Garda vetting for HSE staff has only been mandatory since 2007. So I think it's clear to see that we do need to see improvements. And this bill will put in place procedures that all professions can follow to be vetted. And it will ensure, as much as is possible, that children are only in contact with adults who've been confirmed as not a threat to their welfare. And that's how it should be. So overall, Las Councillor, I think this bill is another step in the right direction for child protection in Ireland, and I wish the Minister well with his efforts. Very much.
The next